Well, let's talk now to Dave Komendat, who's president of DSKomendat Risk Management Services. Welcome to the programme, Dave. Thank you for joining us. So let's return to this attack on Brian Thompson. Are you surprised at how easy it seemed for such a high-level figure to be targeted in this case?
Well, it obviously took some time and planning and effort. I wouldn't necessarily say that it was easy, because obviously the suspect spent some effort trying to understand his patterns. So it was highly unusual, that is for sure.
So do you think this is going to be a watershed moment, if you like? Do you think this is going to change the way the companies think about their security?
I think it depends on the company, quite honestly. Those companies that already have executive protection programs in place are currently in the process of reevaluating them, looking at how effective are the actions and steps that they have in place working for them right now, and do they need to make improvements? I think you have a whole other set of companies that maybe have been somewhat resistant to providing this type of service to their leadership teams in the past that are now evaluating whether this is something that they really should start doing.
So for those that do need to make improvements and are perhaps evaluating what they need to do, how can companies prepare and try and prevent this kind of thing happening?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is really understand the risk associated with their company's employees, and their leaders within the company. You need to have a program that intakes risks, both internal and external, has the ability to evaluate those risks, and then take action to mitigate those risks. So if a company doesn't have that capability right now, then they're really flying in the blind. They need to have something like that, whether they do it internally or purchase that capability through a third party.
There is, though, a balance, isn't there, to be struck between maintaining high security and remaining perhaps an open and welcome place to work?
Absolutely. I think every company has a security culture. Some companies really view security as a business enabler. They invest in it. They make an environment that is quite secure, but in many cases not obtrusive to their employee population, their guests and visitors. And so it's really about what is that culture within that particular company. There are other companies, unfortunately, that view security as a cost center, kind of a necessary evil. And those companies many times are not prepared to deal with some of the issues and some of the threats that they ultimately face.
What about technology? Does this have a role to play? We were talking just now about this new quantum chip. We're seeing technology evolve all the time, AI, for example. How can technology best be used to help ensure security?
Technology is a huge security enabler. If used and deployed correctly and smartly, it is a great supplemental resource for any security organization, whether it's being used to dissect the volume of threats coming in and looking for, quote unquote, the needle in the haystack from a threat perspective, or providing tools that give travelers and executives immediate access to emergency assistance through an app on their phone or some other device that they may be carrying, the ability for security operations centers to have immediate knowledge of an individual's whereabouts and being able to track them if that's a desired technology. So there are all sorts of things that companies can deploy and use to keep not only their work environment safe, but the people that are traveling safe.
Dave Komendat from DSKomendat Risk Management Services. Good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us on the programme.
Thank you.